125 years ago, Coca-Cola was doing the math on its sales. I believe by that point it had already abandoned the cocaine content. It was just cola at that point. But once you name something cocaine cola, how do you ever walk back from that? You know what I mean? It's too good of a name. So they noticed something. People bought Coca-Cola in the summer. A little bit in the fall, a little bit in spring, not in the winter. People didn't think of it as a winter drink. So the Coca-Cola advertisers were like, well, wouldn't it be great if we could somehow trick people or convince people or talk people or coax or whatever, brainwash people into drinking Coca-Cola in the winter too. So here's what Coca-Cola advertisers came up with. They thought, what if we somehow worked Coca-Cola into Christmas? Now, I know what you're thinking, Christmas is such a big deal. Not back then. Back then, Easter was the big deal. Christmas was important. People would go do Mass to commemorate Christ's birth, but everybody's born. The real interesting thing is to be killed, executed, and then come back 2 days later. That's fascinating, which is why people had focused on Easter. So what the Coca-Cola advertisers did was, they found a saint who was about to be decanonized, Santa Claus. The Catholic Church was like, he hasn't performed a miracle in a while, let's unemploy him. They grabbed him, they merged him with the story of Saint Nick, and then somebody got inspired. And the inspiration was to merge him with Kris Kringle. Kris Kringle was a Danish thief whose job in the day was a chimney sweep. He could pop his shoulders out and he could fit down a chimney. He would rob your house and then work his way back up, but you'd have a clean chimney. And they merged this together, but they then took St. Nicholas out. He was usually portrayed as a young man, and skinny young man in green and brown clothing. They stuck him in Coca-Cola colors, red and white. They even decided to give him some pink in his skin to keep the Coca-Cola colors going. So they made him an old man so he could have white hair. And then they stuck him on the bottle. That's why periodically you'll see Santa Claus on a Coca-Cola bottle or a Coca-Cola can around Christmas time. Because they made him up. And they transformed Christmas. So instead of Christmas being an important event, but not an especially emotional event, an especially involved event, necessarily. I mean, there were nice traditions around it, stockings and maybe a Christmas tree. They turned it into this thing where all of a sudden this mythical being who drinks a lot of Coca-Cola is bringing you presents. I guess that's how he stays up so late, because think about how many hours it would take to bring presents to everybody. And in the process now, the average Christian in the United States at least thinks Christmas is the important Christian holiday. And it's forced other religions to think about what holiday they could promote during that time period, like Hanukkah. Hanukkah was never especially important. I mean, it's important, but not like, you wouldn't evolve like a whole bunch of time and energy and effort around it. But then, right, if you're Jewish and you're like looking at your kids going, we wish we had a Christmas tree, you need something to compete with this. And the next thing you know, there's a Kwanzaa, because of Coca-Cola advertisers trying to get you to drink more Coca-Cola. They've changed our religion, they've changed our culture, they've changed us economically. So you can imagine what happens when you have a government deliberately thinking about these things.
So I'm going to have to start thinking about TikTok. I think we're going to have to start thinking. Because, you know, we did go on TikTok, and we had a great response with billions of views, billions and billions of views. They brought me a chart, and it was a record, and it was so beautiful to see. And as I looked at it, I said, maybe we got to keep this sucker around a little while.
Trump is related to the Kennedy family. Here's how. George Patton is the grandson of Abraham Lincoln. Benito Mussolini is George Patton's brother. Joseph Kennedy, who's the older brother of John F. Kennedy, who we thought died in World War II, actually didn't, but he went into hiding and had a son who happens to be General Michael Flynn, which makes Flynn first cousins to John F. Kennedy Jr. And where is Trump in this nutty family tree? Donald Trump is, get this, the biological son of General Patton, which makes Trump the first cousin of JFK Jr., which explains why Donald Trump actually accused Senator Ted Cruz's father of being friends with JFK's killer. He was avenging the death of his uncle.
When this guy went to the mall to purchase a camping tent, he noticed something weird, and it's the funniest thing ever. Just watch what happens.
This guy right here, with this beautiful family. There he is again. And, oh, what the hell? He's cheating on his wife. Oh, man. This guy's a player. Look at his face.
Incredible.
So, if you ever have a helium balloon you can't reach, you can use a squirt bottle with cold water, and this is how you get it down. You just spray it. And the water brings it down for you. Ta-da!
Damn it. Chinese cars, they are bullies. Just watch this. And he closes the car, leaves it to park itself. And the guy driving the Benz is there waiting for it to finish parking. And what happened? What happened next? Okay, he's here. Gets off his car, walks away, and let the car park itself. And the Mercedes Benz is just there, confused. And watch what he's going to do next. Who is parking those cars? Nobody? Nobody. Dude is confused, like, what the heck just happened?
没看到前世，还得看吧？你这在抖音上上一下。我也看到，我觉得看到。
Emotional, damn it!
Lawrence Slim got a million stories untold. From green jokes, conspiracies, and edits with flair. You gotta follow him, baby, if you dare.